Alright, welcome back. So, got RealFlight running with Mission Planner. So, I want to go a little bit further now. So, first thing I want to do is get it running with SITL. So, if I bring up a terminal window, and I've got a build of, well, if I build SITL and I build it with debug, because that's usually what I want to do, and build that on my nice fast machine that's using Ccache. Well, it's all built. Okay, so Mission Planner. So I've disabled the Mission Planner thing, just started RealFlight, and then I'm going to, this is the script I'm going to run. So I'm running sim vehicle, and the main thing is this -F. Probably make this a bit bigger. -F flight axis one to the local host. I'm going to pop at a console. I want debug and GDB running. So if I run that, I get this nice GDB console that is telling me the frame rate and the regular console. It's interesting about the glitches. So that seems to settle down after a while. Although not at the moment. Okay, but still 860 frames a second. So you can see that's significantly slower than the update rate here. So this is the actual ArduPilot refresh rate. This is effectively the loop rate. And now I can't fly this yet because when I start it like this, I basically lost the previous model params, and so I need to, in MEV proxy here, param load all of the rise params. I think I've done it already, so that seems good. And okay, RC2 reverse is not reversed. Okay, so that seems good. And probably what I want to do is restart this. And you'll see you get this little RealFlight link has been removed and then reconnected. I'm getting my frame rate here. Okay, so that's running in SITL. But the next thing I want to do is if I come out of full screen here, I'll run this FPV, so I can go to gadgets and select viewport. Nice. There we go. I've got my viewport. Now the viewport also supports other views. Nose, chase, FPV. But unfortunately, because this is not a 3D rendered scenery, it doesn't support FPV, so I've got to switch to a field that does support FPV. So I'm going to select scenario, I think. No, not scenario. Select airport. Okay, so this is Eli Field, which is basically just bitmaps. There are a few around here, but I thought I would select Flatlands Air Race Desert. Very nice. Okay, so you can see I've had this graphics frame rate of 2 and a bit thousand. Okay, so I'm going to switch to frame rate desert. And you can see that the graphics frame rate has dropped quite considerably to 1200. But my viewport does now give me the FPV feed. And if I go back here, what I found is, because I basically changed locations, So you basically need to restart the aircraft so it, oops, so it kind of knows where it is. All right, so restart the aircraft. Good, and you can see my frame rate is dropped a little bit. Of course, I'm still below. Most of the load is on the graphics card side, so I think some of this is CPU load. That's why I'm getting a little bit of variability here. But the real, where I've lost performance is on the graphics, on the simulation side. Now I can run this in on a separate machine, but I think the amount of CPU that ArduCopter is taking is relatively limited. But it'd be nice to be up above 800 here. So this is the reason for running on a Linux machine, to get that sort of frame rate as high, so you can basically dedicate the whole computer to the simulation. All right, so if I now bring back my console, I should be able to armed. Let's do this. Let's go full screen and. See, as soon as I push it hard, it gets an acceleration. And that's basically and run into some problems. All right, so that's fine. So, but I'm able to now fly FPV. So I want to set the aircraft up a little bit more. And I can do that. I can connect now over UDP to the, oh no, maybe it's over TCP, I can't remember. I thought this was TCP. Let me figure it out. Right, turns out there's a bug. So the bug is this guy in sim vehicle. We do this WSL2 host string, which looks like that normally. And this is assuming that we've got bridged networking, which is how WSL2 is set up. But that's not how I've got things set up. So I'm using this new feature of WSL2, which involves editing WSL config file and putting in networking mode mirrored DNS tunneling true. And this basically allows you to use native networking in WSL2 without the overhead of the bridge. And so for some reason, with that set up, what it was giving me was it was publishing to my router essentially, which is never going to work. So I've changed this. I basically made this none. This is in sim vehicle. And now it's publishing on localhost. And then when I go to proxy, it connects over a UDP, which is what I want. And interestingly, my frame rate is very similar. Okay, so, right, so now I want to set this up a little bit, so I can actually fly it. So I've done radio calibration. Let's get some flight modes in. So I like to have this as loiter. This is stabilize. This one I like to be acro. And then this one I like to be alt hold. Okay, so there's some modes. And then this guy is 8. I'm going to make this RTL. And then this one, which is 10, quite like to be Autotune. And then you can see, yeah, you can see the kind of the tune here. And then what I want to do is, so Autotune, so essentially this is a very, very low noise copter. There's basically no noise in RealFlight. So I want the aggressiveness factor to be 0.00, I'm going to say 25. I know that's low. Oh, I don't think it goes as low as that, but anyway, we'll see. I have a feeling if I refresh that. No, it keeps it. Okay. So yeah, so basically very, very low noise copter, and so I want the aggressiveness factor to be really pretty low, otherwise I get massively overtuned. Alright, still got good frame rate, So I now should be able to take off in loiter. Here we are. Oh, didn't like me. Okay. auto-tune success. Save gains, disable auto-tune. Alright, let's do it again. See what it looks like this time. Okay, up we go. Autotuning saved gains, so we can actually have a look on Mission Planner now. What does it look like? Extended tuning. Interestingly, these haven't gone up much, but maybe that's a, maybe that's a good thing. I think it's sort of the tune's backed off a little bit. Oh, interesting. D 0.00358. I have a feeling that's my min D. Oops. Autotune min D 0.003000358. Interesting. So D has gone to the minimum, and I think again that's because it's such low noise. So okay, so I'm going to make this min D 0.0001. I'm going to try that, and I won't bore you with watching auto-tune again, so I'll do that in the background. Alright, I did a first auto-tune. You can see D's come down to 0.0012 on roll, and 0.00012 and 0.0021 on pitch. So setting that minimum value was correct. So now I'm just going to do auto-tune again, just to lock that in. Alright, so retune, and that softened that up. And now, if I switch to full screen, oops, okay, there we go, switch to full screen, switch mode to acro, then I think it's because it's armed. think disarmed. Okay, disarmed. Try that again without hitting the ground. Arming, taking off. You can see I can fine echo. It's not super good, but at least it's not wobbling all over the place. The tune is soft enough that I can I think what I find is if I try and throw it around, so I do a very aggressive corner like that. Not too bad. Ground with this. Yes, okay. And I can hit RTL. It'll fly back to me. Switching out. This you should find, so the frame rate's still pretty good, 900 frames a second. Yeah, very good. So, there we go. FPV tuned copter in RealFlight, which is a nice way of experimenting, nice way of flying actually, and it doesn't fly a million miles away from a real copter. It's a bit sluggish. If you try and make it too aggressive, then the simulation can't cope. But it's pretty good. So very good. Thank you for watching.